Hello friends, this is Music Man from his man cave, and now we talk about Buy American Part 2. There's a lot of people out there and they're just fighting mad. I mean, on both sides, that we're just not making things in America anymore. What is the problem? I mean, why aren't we need to stop this, using anything, buying anything from overseas and buy right here in the good old United States of America. Let's talk about it right now. Next time you have someone come up to you and say, you need to buy American, you should just kind of probe them and figure out, their background and where they come from. And you'll find out most of the time that these people are the least qualified to whine about us buying from China or whatever. They're the number one people complaining that they can't make a living, that everything's so stinking expensive. And, you go to Walmart, and every time you go to Walmart, you walk out and you spend $100 and you didn't hardly get anything for your money. And, and they go on and on and on, wailing, woe, despair, and agony on me. And you're standing there and you feel this acid kind of building right here. You know the type. You're just kind of starting to churn. And can I just... And you're trying to be polite and you just want to walk away because their argument is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. America is not a producing nation anymore. We are a consuming nation. That's the facts. There was a time in the past when we were a producing nation, sometime before I was born, and now we have become a consumer nation. And other countries love us for this. They love having the jobs. They do. Americans are the most uncontent with any job that they get. I mean, they will always be focusing on the negative and, oh, woe is me and all the bad things about my job. Just get them started. And they'll tell you how their boss doesn't treat them like a partner and how they're so unhappy and how bad everything is. And you just get them going. And they love to put stuff like this, especially like MSNBC loves to put on the most miserable cities. And people on there saying how unhappy they are when they live like kings compared to most of the world. And it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. They eat 3 square meals a day. The average person in the world eats 1 or 2. They say that they're starving and that there's not enough. Yet the highest problem with people in the lower income bracket, obesity. So on and on and on it goes, and you're going to hear them complain. And the reason is because those people have offshored the jobs, and those jobs, well, that's because you're on welfare and you're drawing food stamps. Sorry to offend you. You'll find out usually that's the number one complainers. They sit around and their ideology is not what they do. They think that how they have a right to say this when they're the very ones that are capable of working, and they're sitting there drawing their check with a Statue of Liberty on it. If that check doesn't come, hey! When they're perfectly capable of working. Or they accidentally slipped on something at work and their back is thrown out, but they can afford tattoos all over their body. Not I mean to pick on Americans, but it's absolutely true. You have these people come up to you, buy American, buy American. Americans don't want to work. There are jobs everywhere. I have seen them. But the problem is you only make $9 an hour. Who can live on that, right? Well, and you think that, people would, if they're desperate for a job, would go right and get that job, right? That's supporting America. That would, mean that we could become a producing nation again. No, these people will walk off the job to the dime if it's going to take away their money from the government. Check out what I'm saying. I'm telling you the absolute truth. So America has this ideal of who we are, but we are not that anymore. We are not a producing nation, and we never will be. I foresee that in the future we're going to be making cars that have to get on the 50 miles to the gallon. They have to. We did back in the 80s, but they've now the technology's better, so you'll have a car that can get 50 miles a gallon and have 120 horsepower, and we are capable of doing that, and higher. So the bottom line is this whole Buy American thing. You try to reason with them, you try to talk to them about these things, and they will completely freak out. And the far left wackos are pointing at the right, and the right are pointing at the left, saying they're the reason we have to offshore our jobs. They put so many regulations on us, and there's so many loopholes we have to go through to create a business that it's almost impossible. And both of them need to compromise, come together, and understand that, both of them are the problem. No, should we be offshoring jobs? No, but people got to work, and then therefore we need our healthcare system needs to be revamped, because employers can't afford to be paying these huge amounts of money to someone they just hired, and they can't afford to pay these huge retirement pensions to them, and matching their 401ks and all this stuff. Where overseas they don't have to do that, and people overseas they are tickled out of their mind with their jobs. They love building cars. They love making things. They love it. They love the work. And so they're thrilled that us Americans are sitting over here. So it's kind of a symbiote relationship. They love us, but they do hate when we sit around complaining. Oh, woe, doom, despair, and agony on me. They hate that. They think, what are they complaining about? I think it was Mother Teresa, some missionary came to America, and she was stunned that our garages that we put our cars in are better than the homes in India where people live. Most people still live on dirt floors and get bitten by snakes laying on the floor at night, and they have thatch hutches over their house. We in America have it pretty stinking good. Stop the Buy America nonsense. Otherwise, you have to make some changes. And do you want to make those changes on the far right or the far left? No, you don't want to make those changes. You want what you want, and you want what you want. We'll talk about more about it later. If you have any questions, write down below. Ask me. I've heard it all. And it's just people don't put their money where their mouth is. Sorry. And so I'd rather some sweet girl from India have the job rather than some complaining, whining redneck in America. Sorry. And don't be offended. I'm a redneck. So take care. Bye.